Hey guys, what's up? It is Andy Elliott. In this video today, I'm here with my boy Eric Klein, and we were just talking about making money and how fast people can, win in this era. And he created this 100K a month playbook, and he was going over it with me, and I said, stop. How does someone get there in the 30-second conversation? He goes, there's 5 steps. I said, okay, hold on. Let's go to the whiteboard, so we're gonna record it. So Eric, obviously you're in the wholesale real estate, wholesale acquisition space.
Yeah.
It's a virtual position company or job. Yeah. Anywhere around the world, you got guys going to 100 grand a month, couple hundred grand a month, people doing it part-time, making 20 to 40 grand a month.
Yeah.
You guys need to understand, this model is insane. I want him to explain how the empire of 100K a month works from someone's kitchen table.
Yeah, it's actually really easy. So
walk us through it.
When I jumped into the real estate acquisition space, a lot of you know it as the wholesale industry, I never once got into it thinking I was getting into real estate. For me, it was marketing, sales, and then sales on the back end to get rid of the contract to an investor. So I didn't know a whole lot about real estate, but I knew I came in with a 5-step framework on sales that if I could just separate myself from the competition, there's a lot of amateurs out there.
Yeah.
So if I could separate myself from the competition, get the homeowner to hear and feel something different than what they were used to, I was gonna go fast and quick.
Okay, I want everybody to understand this. In case you don't understand what it is that the wholesale real estate space is, let me just kind of explain it. I know it's your industry, but I want to explain it because I'm from the outside.
Of course.
There's a lot of people that have problems in their life and they need to sell their homes.
They want speed, convenience, distressed home, or distressed homeowner. Yes. And there's a lot of distress out there right now.
And you have tons of leads of all these people that want to sell their homes. And they want to sell it fast.
Leads.
Okay. We call and we want to make them an offer. Pretty simple. They want to sell it. We want to make them an offer. When you make them an offer, a lot of them say yes. When they say yes and they sell it, you're not buying it.
No.
But you teach them where the buyer is at.
Yes.
And basically that buyer is going to be paying for that house and they are going to get their money. But because you found the house, there's a broker fee?
It's an assignment clause.
Okay.
So we can take that contract and sell it to a third party or assign it.
Anyone can do this.
You lock a house up for 100, you assign it for 120, you get paid $20,000 at closing. That's my average assignment fee right now today.
Do you need a real estate license to do this?
No.
Listen to me right now. I don't care where you are in the world, you can do this part-time. You don't need a real estate license. And literally each one of these you can do, the average one is paying $20,000. Go back to what you're talking about on this 100K a month playbook.
Yeah, so it literally took me 90 days to go from 0 to 132,000 a month.
Okay.
And then obviously I scaled it to 200, 250, 500, 600,000 a month with a super small team.
Yeah,
and
so now you teach others how to do this.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I have thousands of students all over the world.
Okay.
So what I did in this, I wanted to know what my competition was doing so I could sound different.
Okay.
And to get somebody to sell you a house over a telephone at a discount, a lot of people came into this industry thinking when they got the homeowner on the phone, they had to talk about the house the whole time. Well, if someone's gonna sell their house at a discount over a telephone, you gotta figure out why they actually need the money. So I focused on the 80-20 rule. 80% of the conversation was not about the house, 20% of the conversation is about the house, and you'll see it in my 5-step sales process. So 1 is intro. I want to set very realistic expectations of what's gonna happen on the call.
Okay.
A lot of people get these homeowners on the phone and they have like a 3-call process even to get to an offer.
It's exhausting.
I wanna get it done in 1 call.
Yeah.
1 call close. So in this, what I do, because I do 100% of this virtually over the phones, is I get them on the phone, I get their attention, I get them engaged, I have them write down all my information. First name Eric, last name Klein, name of my company. If you don't have a company, that's okay. I'll have them write my phone number down. I'll have them repeat my phone number so I know they're actually doing what I'm asking them to.
I like that.
I don't have them repeat my name. I don't have them repeat the name of the company, but phone numbers, smartphones made everyone dumb. Nobody remembers phone numbers. And why? Because I've called them, I've interrupted their day, and I want to make sure I got control of the phone call.
Okay.
Okay?
Cheers.
At the end of the intro, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them know by the end of this call, one of two things is going to happen. Your property either qualifies and I make you an offer based on our conversation, or for whatever reason it doesn't, and I'm going to let you know why, and hopefully I can point you in a direction where you can get help. So I do a takeaway kind of in the beginning to see if they're willing to stick with me.
Okay.
Right?
I love that.
That's intro, step one.
It's huge.
So where a lot of people mess up in this industry, before I move on to step two, is they will go through an entire pitch trying to buy a house over a telephone without ever having them write their information down. I'm not selling my house to anybody. At the end, let alone sign a contract, and I have no clue who I'm talking to.
Yeah, never
right?
happened.
So I'm just getting rid of objections before they could ever come up.
It's huge.
Right?
Love it.
Two is going to be the why or fact find.
Okay.
Okay? So what I want to do is I want to understand why they're on the phone with me to sell a house discounted. We do deal with a lot of absentee owners, which are landlords, where I know the owner of that house doesn't live in the home. More than likely it's vacant or they have a tenant in that property.
Okay.
So why is somebody going to sell me what used to be an investment property? Now, is it not an investment or is it a liability? So did it turn from an asset to a liability? A lot of people think being a landlord's sexy until it's time to be a landlord.
Yeah.
It's not sexy at all.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is figure out why they're on the phone, and I start knocking down objections I know that are gonna come at the end.
That's right.
So I wanna figure out why. I use a lot of third-party stories here of other people that I've helped or situations that I've been close to. Hey, the last 5 properties that I got qualified to purchase, it was Mr. Johnson. He was a landlord for 25 years. He moved his granddaughter into it the last 12 months. He broke the cardinal rule. You don't list or you don't let your friends or family members move into your property.
Never.
Started driving a wedge. I use a third-party story to let the person know I've dealt with this before. Then what I want to do, which a lot of people in these types of conversations, they don't think this stuff matters. There's good rapport, there's bad rapport. I like building rapport that will give me information to close the deal down at the end. I want to ask questions. Are you married? How long have you been married? And you need to make sure this comes in a conversation where it doesn't feel like they're being interrogated. You can ask questions a right way and a wrong way. You ask them the wrong way, they're going to shut down. They're going to be skeptical. They're not going to give you the answers that you need to know in order to close at the end. I say if you do the 4 steps right, step 5, which is close, is going to be the easiest part of the conversation because now they like you, trust you, and want to do business with you.
That's right.
And now they're negotiating with somebody that they actually want to sell the house to. So fact find, and there's 5 steps, but this step never stops until the deal hits the closing table. It's the one thing you always want to be digging and uncovering information. I call it collecting data, to where when you do get to the close, you have everything you need in order to overcome any and all objections.
I love that.
Right? So then we have 3, which is the pitch, or this is where we talk about the house, right?
Okay.
So you'll see, I said in the very beginning, I live by the 80-20 rule. 80% of the conversation is not going to be about the house. This is the one part of the conversation where we actually talk about the home. Okay. Now I know why he wants to sell or she wants to sell. I know how long they've been thinking about it. I know whether or not he's been married. I know where their next move is. Because if I collect all this in the fact find, when I get down here to the close,
it's easy.
I'm not negotiating off numbers. A lot of people in this industry, as soon as they get a rejected offer, they go back and they just start giving them more money, which is going to decrease your assignment fee. What I like to do is negotiate with their circumstances and pain.
That's the leverage.
Which allows me to get bigger assignment fees. We can talk to the same lead. My average might be $20,000+ on a deal. Your average could be 5. Why? Because you're negotiating with money rather than their circumstances.
This is huge. This is why I created this playbook. This is why I wanted him to share this with you. By the way, they can get this playbook free. Is that correct? Yeah, so you guys look down in the description box on this video, you're gonna see a link and it's gonna say get the 100K a month playbook free. Just click on it, they can get it, and they can actually read more about how you do this in just a short video.
And how fast this can happen. Now, mind you, I went all in when I came into this model. I had a decade of experience in sales and marketing, but it only took me 90 days. 90 days. When it says 100K a month playbook, it is real. It took me 90 days and I was already at 132,000 net. Net means it hit the bank account, not gross, net. 132,000 net by following this 5-step framework. And Obviously, it can get much bigger than 100 grand a month. But this is the pitch. When you're talking about the house, you start outside of the house, then you go inside. I always like to take off the salesman hat, put it on them, and I like asking questions like, hey, walk me around the house and tell me what I'm gonna see. If I can get you to sell me your house, I know you're interested.
That's fact.
Right? So the less talking that I'm doing, the more talking they're doing, in my opinion, the higher level of motivation that he's actually interested in selling me his house. That's step 3. Step 4 is gonna be the offer. And for a lot of you that are gonna get in here, you may be saying numbers, you know, big numbers you've never said before, like $132,550. Make sure when you go to make your offer, you have it written down on a piece of paper, because when you start negotiating, the last thing you wanna do is forget what you offered him. Your first offer, 100% of the time should be rejected. If it isn't, it just means you offered him way too much money. So when I make my first offer, I put as an assignment fee that I'm gonna make $40,000 per deal on my first offer. How do I get to a $20,000 average? I start at 40 and I negotiate my way to a 20,000. So for anyone out there, your first offer is gonna get rejected. Give them something to reject.
Does this teach how you make your offers?
100%.
Okay.
How to structure the deal.
Okay.
How to underwrite the deal, all that stuff,
Okay.
right?
Love it.
Cool, and then we have 5, which is the close.
My favorite. And by the way, if this, the first 90% of the time, right, is doing this, right? If you do this right, the last 10% of the time, which is where you collect 100% of the money, this should be easy, right?
Super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when it comes to negotiating, a lot of people will ask me, Eric, how are you so good at negotiating? Well, it's because I did all of this right.
You didn't skip any steps.
Yeah, it's not. Even if somebody, if I know right out the gates, they say, oh, I want X for my house, and I know I can do it. The last thing I'm gonna do is just go from intro to close. I'm gonna stick with all 5 steps, because the last thing you wanna hear is someone says, hey, I want 150,000 for my house, and you're like, oh shit, I could do that, I can do that. And you just give them 150,000, they're gonna go, oh, that was too easy, I'm gonna go to the next person.
Facts.
See if I can get a little bit more money.
Yeah.
So if I can give them 150, I'm gonna start at 110, negotiate my way to 150 so they feel like they won, okay? Now, on the close, I always, right before I make my offer, I put these homeowners on 2 holds. I say I'm going back to my underwriters because I do have to underwrite the deal. So I wanna put them on hold, mute my phone, and just sit there and listen for 3 minutes. I come back, I say I don't have good news, don't have bad news. I have a few more questions for you to see if the property actually qualifies. I'll ask 3 to 4 more questions, put them on hold. I come back on the close. I always say, congratulations, your property did qualify. It was the first one that qualified for me in the last week. We're really picky on what properties we're acquiring given the market right now. Okay. And then I'll make my offer. And a lot of people, and I don't agree, a lot of people will say after you make an offer, pause, the first one to talk wins or loses or whatever it is. I don't agree with that. When you're getting something qualified, it's accepted, and you make your offer, I make my offer, I pause for 3 seconds, and I assume the close. They're gonna stop me if the number is not what they wanted. A lot of times, after someone makes an offer, they'll say, what do you think about that?
That's death.
What do you think? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, nobody's
How
okay
do you
with none of
feel?
that. Yeah,
Right.
no way.
So make the offer. Hey, it came in actually higher than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
They said that they're willing to pay, given the roof, the age of the house, the rehabs that need to be done, they're willing to pay $153,452. Pause. And now the next steps, Mr. Johnson, is I'm gonna have a written offer prepared. It's actually being prepared right now, and I go in for the close. Obviously, there's gonna be negotiation that needs to be done. I will talk about how to handle and negotiate like a pro, to where you're not negotiating with money, you're negotiating with circumstances. That's how you go from getting a $5,000 deal to a $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 deal.
Unreal. I love it, dude. So number one, as he was explaining this to me, and I've been with Eric for a couple years now, and I mean he's moved across the country, been here with us. He has his own company across town. As my brother, I watch him grow his business. I'm watching him help all these people. A lot of your students have been mine. My students have been yours. They've been through both of our programs. But this is really cool what Eric's been able to do. teaching people how to have the opportunity to literally work part-time. That means they already have their full-time job and work part-time to earn more money than what they earn in a couple hours and they're earning their whole full-time job.
Yeah.
Or even have some people go full-time.
Yeah.
And they work from their kitchen table, they get time with their family, no one has to put the thumb on them, and all they gotta do is be a professional, learn the system, and make the calls. Guys, if you don't know Eric Klein, you need to go follow him on Instagram. He's unreal. I'll put his Instagram handle below. He's unreal. We roll together all the time. But this book, when he walked in the office with it, I said, I gotta have that book, and I wanna learn everything about it. And then Eric's like, dude, let me show you how quick it is to build this, 5 steps. I go, let's take it to the board. So all of you right now, there's gonna be a link below in the description box. You guys can click on this. You guys can get this book. I'm gonna put it down here in the video. And then also on top of that, if you guys have any questions for Eric, go right now to his Instagram, okay?
The Eric Klein, ERICCLINE.
Yeah, and I'll put it below so you guys can see it and shoot him a DM, okay? So I love you guys. We promised we'd make it a quick video. This was a lot of value. Man, he talked about the foundation to a freaking $1 million a year income. Love it, brother. Good job.
Appreciate you.
Guys, have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. You're the true 1%er. How do I know that? Because most people, they never finish. Winners live where quitters quit. Most people didn't make it to the end, but you guys did. That's how I built my life. So I want to say thank you. Don't stop. Keep up the training. Remember, I asked, share the video. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel so you get the newest stuff the fastest. Set up the notification so it hits you right away. And make sure you go right into another video, nowhere else but with me, Andy Elliott. And if you want to train with me, go to trainwithandyelliott.com right now or click the link in the description box below. I'll reach out, we'll make a plan.